Alright everybody, so the moment of truth. I have been putting off the driver's bedside for the last like 7 months now. At least, probably more. So it's time to finally get this thing going. Tired of showing the Jeep to people, you know, where I go and having this embarrassment on this side right here. So, it's time to get to work. So just stencil out what you cut out. It's that simple. Pretty easy. So that's just a temporary brace. You can see it's not moving anymore. So now I can cut it all off. Guys, so this is one thing you want to wear is respirators, eye protection, hearing protection. You don't want to end up like me where I have barely any hearing in this ear. You don't want to end up with COPD. I don't understand why you guys who do this stuff don't wear respirators. And I'll show you why. So you see this stuff all over my arm? That's all metal, and that's all grinding disc material. All that stuff on the floor down there, that floor was clean. All that stuff is in your lungs if you don't wear respirators. So wear them. What I'm going to be doing for this corner right here, first I need to finish grinding the paint down, and so I can have a clean surface to weld on. Back here is actually pretty clean. There's no rust back here, and I showed you guys there's no rust back there. So I'm going to take my patch and patch that in, and as you can see, it's rusted all the way through in that corner right there. This is actually what I did to rebuild the bed, but I'm not going to be able to fix this without removing the actual bed. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to put this patch in here so it holds this piece together. I'm going to remove this brace that I put in there, and I'm going to take a piece of steel, and I'm just going to put it flat right up against here, and I'm just going to weld it right on. So that's not the ideal situation. I understand that, but I'm not removing the entire bed. All of this stuff is just going to take forever to take all of this off just to get to that corner. I'm just not doing it. I don't have the means to lift this thing. If you guys have ever lifted a J10 or J20 bed, it is heavy. There's no way to lift it by yourself. So I did the same thing on the passenger side. I'm going to do the same thing on the driver's side. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a show car. It's not going to be perfect. But at least it'll look decent, and it won't have holes in it anymore, right? That's all that matters. Alright, so I know I'm not really showing me doing most of the work. I don't have a tripod, and it's really hard for me to do this by myself. A lot of these channels have somebody recording for them. But the patch is in. It's a little uneven in spots like that, but I can fill that in. Now this right here, I don't know what happened when I measured or when I stenciled the old piece, but I'm going to have to add a piece of metal right in here. Because that's just too much to fill, you know, like these right here. So, but it's coming along. Alright, so here's one more look at the panel. Mostly welded in, this little piece right here. Obviously I stopped at the end. So, all that with a little flux core welder. Alright, I'm pretty much done with this panel. It's all welded in now. Just got to grind all these welds down when I'm done with everything. I need to make like a little triangle right here for that little corner. Make a little patch for this right here. Now if you're wondering what this is, it's when I was doing the bed floor, I forgot to put one last little cross member on there. I actually need to put a brace on it underneath that cross member on the frame, but I had to cut a hole in the side of here to stick that cross member through there. So, but I haven't touched this because that's the next project. So